Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone? I don't know who's here. I seen Spork. Hey, Spork. It's always good to see Spork. They're like, oh, snap, it's about to pop off. Well, we're going to see if we can get it popping off in here or not. I have not been on this channel in a long time. And there is Miss Janica. Come on in, Miss Janica. How was your Christmas? I hope it was good. My Christmas was pretty good. I'm not going to complain. It was pretty good. Me and the grandson, we just was lazy all day. Well, we had food. I cooked for him. We had food, but then we was just lazy all day long. But it was a good day. And there's Roland. Come on in, Roland. What's up, man? But it's great to see y'all. I don't know who's going to show up. I was like, I've got to get over there on that channel and do a live because I have not been on this channel, I guess, since we did the Washington hike. And my whole goal is to build this channel up and get this channel monetized. I've got to do this channel the right way. So, I've got to play by the rules that YouTube has and do this channel right, because the end goal is to get this channel monetized, because there's going to be lots of things going on this channel in 2026. We will get to that, though. I will let y'all know what we're going to do. Well, I'm glad you had a fun Christmas. Yeah, ours was very laid back, easy going, nothing exciting, just food. And we watched movies. We was just lazy. But that's how I liked it. Well, we got up. Well, I was up really late, and then I slept for a little bit. He slept in too. Then we got up and we opened presents. Of course, I'm going to buy him all kinds of crap. He was just seeing the Amazon boxes rolling in. He didn't know what was in them. He didn't know if it was something I just ordered for me or if it was something for him or what. So I didn't buy him a whole bunch of stuff, but I got him some stuff. So I wrapped it all up so he'd have presents under the tree. And damn, Janica, if he didn't go shopping for me, because he took off and went spent the night with this young couple that I'm friends with, and they went somewhere and he did his own shopping for me. I thought that was so sweet. Spent his own money on me. But he got me a real pretty bracelet, so I was happy with it. He might as well gave me $1,000,000 because I'm like, you went and spent your own money. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, it was a moonstone. It's got a moonstone set in it. So I really like it. So yeah, it was real sweet of him to do that. He didn't have to do it. But he wanted for me to have something to open Christmas morning. And I'm thinking, okay, I get one package, one present to open, and he's got like 10. But hey, I'm grandma, I'll take the loss. I don't care. But as far as I know, everybody had a pretty good Christmas. All the family back home. I talked to the kids, the grandkids, of course, they had to tell me what they got. They must have been really good all year for all those packages, they got to open up. But yeah, it was all around, it was a good holiday. Now, Janica, we're getting close to that time where he's got to go take his placement test for college. He's going to be leaving me, leaving the nest and going starting his new life and, being an on campus student. And I'm going to be suffering from empty nest again. It's all right. Sport, how you doing? It's always good to see Sport. Good to see you. I hope your holiday was good. Mine was good. I guess everybody else's was good. But yeah, Janica, I'm starting to feel it already. I'm like, oh, he's gonna leave me. But he'll be fine. My granddaughters are flying home at 3 a.m. to Florida, one to Arizona. Gosh. Yep. I didn't have, well, I had Adrian here with me. Everybody else is in Oklahoma. We didn't have any, I didn't have any out of state people come in. We got 8 inches of snow yesterday. Well, I was supposed to have gotten some snow. I mean, according to the forecast, I should have had about 6 inches of snow out on the ground. But wouldn't you know, the forecast changed, and all I got was just some passing showers, and that was it. Just cloudy, gloomy, just some hit and miss rain. So much for the snow. My thinking is I'm going to get hit next month. That's what I'm thinking. Because it did this to me last year, too. It was kind of, it just, there wasn't no snow on the ground at Christmas, but man, come January, I got hit. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen again. I'm going to end up probably with a hellacious snowstorm come through here because they're calling for a heavy winter or heavy, a bad winter. And that, I'm like, I don't care what it does outside. It can freaking come a damn 3 foot snow out there. As long as I don't hear the word blizzard. If I hear the word blizzard, yeah, I'm not going to be happy. I got caught in a damn blizzard the first winter I was here, and I never seen such crazy shit in my life. I'm like, oh. But I'm ready. Let it hit. I have stockpiled. I have got all my things ready to go. So I've started planning very early this year for it. Dang, well, it's going to rain ice. Yeah, it's Oregon weather. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. Oregon weather is like PMS to a woman. You just never know what the hell you're going to get from one day to another. It could one day it could be all nice and pleasant, and the next day it's just all hell's breaking loose. it's it's crazy up here. It's actually cozy when you're snowed in. Well, I don't know, Janica. I got that first when I was here, the first winter I was here, and got hit with this blizzard. I was trapped in this house for 28 days straight. I about went out of my damn mind. I'm like, I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I'm just stuck. Yeah, 28 days before I could leave. Now I was going out of my damn mind because you can only do so much. And I'm like, I can't deal with this. And then I lose my electric on top of that because damn wind took the line down. So then I'm sitting here. Luckily, I had a generator. So it's like, what do? I read lots of books and I slept a lot. That's how I passed those 28 days. Just read books and slept. Same here. It's always 100% chance whether when you, yeah, I mean, I'm like, you damn weather people need to get your freaking story straight because I'm sitting here waiting for this pretty snow. I love to watch it snow, and I don't mind snow, but don't get my hopes up and then just it not do nothing. Yeah, look, that sucked. When I lost electric, It's big time. And they was working on it. I was without electricity for like 2 weeks. It was just a mess. So I'm like, okay, I got my generator. I can run a heater. I can freaking use my lamp right here. Yeah, I mean, I was limited on stuff, but I survived. Hey, Rob, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good Christmas. We have survived Christmas 2025. So we can all breathe a little easier. We have gotten through all of the holidays now. Now we just get amped up for the new year. 2026 is around the corner. What, 5 days from now? It's going to be a whole new year. Is Luna ready for 2026? Yeah, I'm ready for it. Bring it on. I think it's going to be better than 2025. I've got some things planned already. Some things are in the early stages of getting planned. And then I'll just plan more shit along the way. I'll fill in the blanks. I'm good with that. But yeah, 2025, it had its good points and its bad points. That's about all I can say on that. But what year's perfect for anybody? You got your highs and lows every year. So I'm thinking, well, 2026 is definitely going to be better than 2025. That I can guarantee. So, but Janica, I got news. Enjoy it while you can for what it's worth. I don't think it's going to get any better. Well, I think it's what you make it. I've learned this. It's what you make it. Now, it took me retiring in order to actually have a life. So I'm trying to make up. Well, am I making up for lost time? No, because my intention was to work till I was 50 and then retire. Now it's like then I decided I didn't want to be fully retired. So I get licensed in Oregon. I'm working here and there whenever I want to. It's my choice if I want to work or not. I work when I want to. I got to stay in the game to some point because I got to keep using the skills I've got, because if I don't, then I will lose those skills. So I try to work here and there. I didn't make the price of coffee double in the last 30 days. Well, I did not either. Yeah, coffee is it can be spendy. I'll agree with that. It can be. But Luna has to have her coffee. I will sacrifice something else to have my coffee. I will give up, my treats or whatever I buy myself extra just to have my coffee. That is the one thing Luna cannot go without is coffee. Hell, I'm sitting here drinking coffee now while I'm talking to you all. But yeah, that's one thing that you'll never see me without is coffee. Coffee is always necessary. That is right. I will agree. There's things I can go without. Coffee is not one. I have to have my coffee. Like I said, I will sacrifice something else before I give up my coffee. That's me. But yeah, Sport knows, Janica knows, it is necessary and it is important. Yes, I will agree. Somebody, you know what? My daughter asked me one time, Janica, it's a heck of a commodity in a survival situation. Heck yeah, it is. My oldest daughter asked me one time. She said, Mom, what would you give up? Coffee or sex? And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at her and I'm like, do you do know who you're talking to, right? She said, I shouldn't even ask you that question. I said, hey, I was single for how many? I've been single for how many years now? And you're coming at me with that question? She about died. And she said, yeah, I had to stop and think of what I just asked you when I asked you. Coffee, weed, tobacco, cookies, cakes, and apple fritters. I've got my priorities in order. There you go, Rob. As long as you got your priorities in order, that's all that matters. Sports, she did. And then after she asked me this question, then she stopped. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at her like, did you just ask me this question? She was like in her early 20s when she asked me this question. And I said, well, and I have been single for how many years now? And you really? She just died. She said, Mom, I just don't think that she said, you're just too picky. Then she decided I was too picky. I was like, no, that's not it. Need my coffee and my smoke. Yeah, I mean, there's things that I need in this world. I will agree. Yeah, Rob's making jokes in here. Well, apparently, Janica, he's telling off on himself. Is that telling us he got lucky last night or what? Maybe. Let's not pry too much, but just from that comment, that's telling me, hey, Rob might have got lucky last night. Don't know. Ain't none of our business if he did. Oh, he gonna come back at me with something. I see it already. Could be, yep, could be, Janica. But hey, if he did, good for you, man. Good for you. I got very lucky. I got the last half a gallon of eggnog in the county. Okay. Roland's like, bow, chicka, bow. Hey, if he got lucky, he got lucky. But apparently he did. He said he did. Hey, I'm over here. I'm all for it, man. You out there freaking sowing your oats, then more power to you, man. Luna's being good. I can't say anything about myself, but I'm trying to be good, Janica. I'm trying to be good, damn it. Is Luna lying? Well, maybe, maybe not. I've gotten a fresh bottle of Maker's Mark whiskey. Got to have some. Oh yeah, hey, Maker's Mark's good. Maker's Mark is good. Do you know I have I'll tell you a little tidbit. You brought this up. Fun facts about Luna. He brought up Maker's Mark. I will give you some fun facts about Luna. I remember when Maker's Mark first come on the scene. And at that time, they were signing up ambassadors for Maker's Mark. I got in on when they opened the door for the ambassadors for Maker's Mark. I have a barrel, and I've got all the paperwork on it. I have a barrel of Maker's Mark in California that has been sitting there for shit for a long time, and I can go down there anytime I want and have them tap that barrel, or just have it just sit there. So yeah, all the ambassadors, when we first come on with the company, we all got a barrel of Maker's Mark whiskey. And mine is sitting down there, I think mine was number 68. So it's down there in California. And when if I ever want to take a trip to California, I can go there. And they will take me and show me my barrel of whiskey. That's crazy, ain't it? But yeah, I got all the paperwork on it and everything. I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do with a whole damn barrel of whiskey? Yeah, you can't drink. It'd take you a damn lifetime to drink all that. That's a lot of whiskey. So yeah, I still get stuff from the company all the time. They send me they send me a Christmas gift every year. They send me a birthday card every year. Yeah, it's wild, Janica. Yeah, when I got all this big, thick envelope in the mail from them, after I signed up with them, I'm like, what the hell is this? Is this like I didn't know what it was till I freaking ripped it open. And yeah, there's all the freaking documentation, barrel number, all the paperwork to go with it. And they said I could come to California anytime I wanted to, take a tour of the whole place, and they would take me right to my barrel of Maker's Mark whiskey, and they would tap it for me if I wanted them to. And I'm like, how much is it? They're like, and this is complimentary from the company for you being an ambassador. I'm like, what? So yeah, I hung on to all that stuff. Get drunk for years. Oh, no doubt, Rowan. You can embalm Buddy with that whiskey. No, I think I'm just going to let it sit there for, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when I'll go down and actually claim it. I may say, well, I want it, but I want you to bottle it all up for me in bottles. And that way I can just open it, as I want to drink it. I thought Makers was only made in Laredo, Kentucky. No, they've got a deal down here in California. Because I've got the paperwork on mine and it's in California. Now, I don't know if they make it there or if that's just what it is. I don't know if they make it there or not. But I know that's where my barrel is down in California. So that's a good question. I may have to do some research on this because shit, I don't even know. I'd have to pull out all my paperwork again, and it's all put away in my file cabinet. But yeah, it's like some kind of damn. You might do some research, something sounds suspicious. Why everything I get from Maker's Mark, I just got a freaking Christmas tree ornament this year, come from California. Everything I get is from California. And they did send me some coupons one time in one of their little envelopes they sent me. And I took it down here to the liquor store, and hell, it was good. So I don't know if that's what they got down there. I will have to look into it a little bit more, but it's got to be legit because I've been getting shit from these people from for shit, I know 7, 8 years now. So yeah, I'm not, I don't know. I know it's one of their headquarters is there in California. When did you get your ambassadorship? Oh shit. That's been quite a while back. I can't give you an exact year because I can't even remember when I signed up with them. But it's been over, I know it's been over 5 years. It's been quite a while when I signed on with them because I went on their actual website and signed on with them. That I would have to look up because I can't remember the year I signed on with them. Damn, now he's got me sitting here thinking. Every bottle I've gotten is bottled in Kentucky, says so on the label. Well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, this may be one of their corporate offices in California. I mean, I don't know. But that's where all my stuff comes from, is California. But damn, Janica, now he's got me wondering. Now I'm sitting here thinking it may just be a corporate office or something that like that. But everything I've ever gotten from them comes from California. Hell, I got one thing right here. Let me see what this says. Now, wait a minute. This thing here, it's a bottle label deal they sent me. Now, this did come from Lexington, Kentucky. But the Christmas ornament came from California. Now, figure that shit out. This is just a bottle label thing they sent me. It come from Lexington, Kentucky. But I know the last 3 Christmas ornaments I got from them, they did come from California. And then that package of stuff that I got, it come from California. So yeah, no, it ain't. I don't think it's a scam per se. Oh shit, I don't even know where the hell my link is. They have changed it around in StreamYard. Damn, where is my link? I haven't dropped a link and since they freaking upgraded all this stuff in here. Now Rob's got me looking for a link. There may not be no link dropped in here tonight because I've got to figure out where the hell it's even at. But it's not in my normal place where I'd get it from normally. Yeah, they upgraded everything. And I have not dropped a link since they upgraded everything. Yeah, I come into my studio, hell, it don't even look the same. Everything. page in your search bar. I don't have top. No, that says a teleprompter. I produced in Laredo, Kentucky. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I don't have a search bar, Rob, because I do all my lives over my phone. I don't have a computer. I'll figure it out. It may not be till the next time I come in here, but I'll get everything figured out. Now, here's what y'all got me thinking about this thing now. Could, like, the the Christmas ornaments I got, then I got, yeah, I got the 3 Christmas ornaments. They came from California. I wonder if that could be like a distribution deal for this side of the country. I don't know, because this bottle label thing, it come from Kentucky. But the 3 Christmas ornaments, counting this year's ones, come from California. So I'm thinking, is that like a distribution place, or they got an office there that services, the west side of the country, or what? Now you got me wondering. Hmm. I see Maker's Mark California edition. Yeah, I mean, I know they got a California edition because I've seen it down at the liquor store where I go. I've never tried it, but I know they've got it. Not that I'm at my liquor store all the time, but last time I was in there, they had it in there. Yeah, that's odd because the bottle label come from Kentucky. The Christmas ornament came from California, so y'all figure it out. I'm thinking that's might be an office there, a distribution place. Hell, I don't know. But it says that my barrel is in California, so y'all figure that out. About time they were doing some changes. Yeah, I mean, it's wild. Must have came out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't keep up with it, probably like I should, but it's okay. And I just don't drink enough to get invested, that much in it. Would I like to try it? Yeah, I'd like to try the Californian one. It would probably be good. It's mainly for restaurants and retailers, it says. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I'm kind of confused on the whole thing now. I don't know. Maybe I just need to call them. I've got a phone number. I can call them and say, hey, what is up with this? Because I'm all confused now. But then too, I'm not gonna sit here and worry about it because they send me cool shit. So I'm not gonna put too much worry into it. I know the Christmas ornaments are cooler than hell though that they have sent me. So I kind of like those. Mainly for restaurants. 2 miles down the road from the distillery in Kentucky. I know Maker's Mark quite well. Yeah. I mean, I have drank it before, and it is good. But I'm not following them on a daily basis or nothing. Like I said, I ain't even tried the California one. I would like to, and I probably will in time. But it's not, a priority that I just jump up and go buy it today. Well, I guess last time I was in the liquor store, I went and got my 2 bottles of Caramel Crown and called it good. That's when I seen it, was when I went in there to get my 2 Caramel Crowns, and I just left it. I didn't get any more. Hey, Jonathan, how are you doing? Hey, did you get my email, Jonathan? I emailed you some while back, and I never heard nothing from you. Because I was supposed to be on Jonathan's channel one night. We had it scheduled. Then I got the flu real bad. Then I emailed you to tell you I was battling this bad flu that I needed to reschedule things. And I never heard nothing back from you. But it is good to see you, Jonathan. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just over here hanging out with everybody. It's just one of those days. I figured, well, I'm gonna go live and see who's around. But for those that do not know Jonathan, he has a paranormal channel. Him and his dad go out do paranormal investigations. They live on the east side of the country. Good guy. I would recommend his channel to anybody that likes anything paranormal, and their investigations are really cool. Got a good chat over there, good people hang out over there, real welcoming environment. So if that is something, that interests you, I'd recommend Jonathan's channel. Definitely, any day of the week. And Roland dropped Jonathan's channel. There you go. If y'all are interested, go sub up, show Jonathan some support. I'm not sure what they got plans. I don't have any email. My email's not working good lately. Okay, that's probably why you did not get it, Jonathan, because I started getting sick about 3 days before we supposed to did that live together. And I emailed you saying, hey, I'm sick. I need to reschedule this with you. Let's reschedule it and I'll come back and we'll do it. So yeah, and I never heard anything. So I thought maybe he didn't get it, or maybe it went to a spam, or I just wanted you to know I did email you though. So hopefully we can reschedule that. I'm going to get Jonathan, myself, and get another a couple of guys from over in the UK, Spirit Brothers UK. I'm going to have them come over and we're going to do, I'm going to do a live over here and invite them over to be my guests. And we'll just talk about everything paranormal. What got them into it? What's their future plans? Yada, yada, yada. But it'll be a good one because this channel just isn't about it's a combination of things here. It's my hiking stuff, yeah, but it's also paranormal stuff because I go out and do this kind of thing too. Here, not lately, but I'm going to get ready to get back into it. So there's no telling what y'all gonna be seeing me doing on here, and I'm wanting to do a live. My goal is to do a live paranormal investigation with y'all and kind of walk you through it and why we do what we do and let y'all see me in action, as they say. Who would have thought? Here I am, funeral director, going out. Hey, it's just in my blood, I guess. I don't know, but I like doing it. Some people believe in it. Some people don't. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But it's an interest of mine and has been for quite a while. But I have fun with this stuff. There's not too much out in this world that scares me. So I'm not afraid to go out and do it. I just haven't done it in a while. For one, there was about 3 pieces of equipment I needed to get. So that was one hold up, but I've got one more thing to get. And then we're going to be getting out there doing some stuff. But that's my long-term goal, is to do a live paranormal investigation with y'all. Where are we going to go? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. I'd prefer to be in a building. There are some places we can go. I just have to set it up if I can get in there. But it would probably be, alive later on in the evening hours because everybody's ahead of me on time because I'm out here on the West Coast. So it would probably be it'd probably be 8 or 9 o'clock my time before I'd even do it because it would have to be dark. That's the thing. So that'd be getting real late for people out on the east side of the country. But the replay would be here if you wasn't here live. See, Roland, this is things you do not know about me. Luna is not only out running around in the woods acting like a crazy woman and going on crazy hiking adventures, but I also do some paranormal investigating. Welcome to my world, Roland. He just thought he knew me. There's another little tidbit that some did not know. Haven't done it in a little bit, though. I'm getting ready to jump back out there and start doing it again because I think it's cool and I like doing it. But like I said, I was waiting on getting these 3 pieces of equipment. I've got 2. I've still got 1 left, but I should get that after the first of the year. We'll be ready to go. But doing one live with everybody would be cool too, because y'all would see things as it was happening, and I think that's That'd be kind of cool for everybody. I don't even know who's here still. I thought I'd see Lady G or Mark, but I haven't seen either one of them. And I missed. Oh, there's Cinnamon. Come on in, Cinnamon. Hope your Christmas. Yeah, my Christmas was good. I had a good Christmas, so I hope yours was good, Cinnamon. We're just getting amped up for the new year now. But it's good seeing you. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. I'm just over here hanging out. Cinnamon talking about a little bit of whatever. Oh, Janica's back. Luna is like Ghostbusters. Oh, Lord. I don't know if I'd take it that far, Roland. I don't know if I'd go that far. I just go and do crazy things. That's Luna there in a nutshell. I just go do crazy stuff. There is Janica's back. Yeah, I had a good Christmas. Roland's like, I don't even know Luna anymore. She tell me all kinds of crazy shit. It's okay though. It is fine. The things you learn about people. Roland did not know this about me, but he knows now. Yeah, Luna's out there freaking running around chasing damn ghosts and stuff now. I don't go looking for it. I don't go looking for anything. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. But I think it kind of fits me though, because look what I do for a living. You know, I work with deceased people, and I know for a fact that my funeral home was haunted. It was haunted, and I know one of the spirits that was in my funeral home was of a little lady that I took care of. She was kind of like a granny figure in the community. She was like 92. She was an much older lady when she passed away. I know it was her because she was seen, not by me, but by my employee. So I know one of them was her, and the other, I tried to pin it down. I I know it was a man. I do know that. But they was the one that liked to mess with me in the middle of the night when I was there working. Oh, there's Lady G. She finally made it. Good to see you, Lady G. Come on in. Yeah, spirit won't hurt you. But yeah, I remember being there, because I worked late, crazy hours when I was working. About 2 o'clock in the morning one night, I was back there in the embalming room working on somebody, and there was a door that led out into the chapel, had these real heavy doors, double doors, because that's where we would wheel the casket through, and take it out to the chapel and set it all up. And I had these two real heavy double doors there. And I'm back there in this room, and it's right across from these double doors too. I mean, I can see this in my mind like it just happened yesterday. And all of a sudden, I heard that door just slam. I mean, slam. I'm like, what in God's name? I had to go through two doors now to even get out there because the door to the embalming room, I had to keep that door locked all the time because that was the state law. So I have to go through that door. And from that door, you went into the prep room. And there was another door I had to go out to even get out into the hall. And I'm standing there and I'm like, I know I heard this door. And those doors were shut now. They were not open, they were shut. And I'm standing there and I'm like, there ain't nobody in here but me because everybody was home. You know, when everybody left, I locked that place down and I just went to work. So I go back in there and I'm like, I'm just hearing things, I'm hearing stuff. So I go back in there where I was at, continue doing what I was doing. And dang it, if I didn't hear it again, I go back out there and I'm like, okay. I go through this whole place. I walk through the whole freaking building. And it's just a one level building. Flipping on every freaking light, looking everywhere. And I'm like, there is nothing in here but me and these people that are here that I'm taking care of. So I go back, I turn all the lights off, I go back doing what I was doing. I'm like, well, either I'm hearing something or my imagination is just running away with me. So I go back to work and then I hear it a third time. I'm like, okay, this is it. I go out there in the hallway and I'm standing there like I'm talking to somebody. And I'm like, I do not have time to be running out here seeing what you're doing. I said, I got work to do. I would appreciate it if you would just settle down and let me do my work. You can do what you want, just don't be slamming the doors. I try and walk, I try and go back in there. Never heard nothing else. It was crazy. I was at that point, I was just aggravated. I'm like, I have got to get this done so I can go home and maybe get 2 or 3 hours of sleep before I have to come back. It was crazy. And I was like, I don't have time to be, coming out here freaking running around when I got to get this done so I can go home. Granted, I had been there since 7:30 that morning, and it's like the morning hours. I'm ready to get done and just go home. I'm thinking, all right, I've got at least another hour here. I'm going to go home. By the time I get home, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to get 2.5 to 3 hours of sleep. Then I've got to get up and come back and do it all again tomorrow. Like I was just like, I ain't got time to mess with this right now. So yeah, there was things like this that happened, Janica. The rest of the night, didn't hear nothing, finished up my things, went home, come back the next day. Well, I didn't have anybody, to take care of for shoot 3 or 4 days. Got a call. Well, we got somebody else in. All right, that means Luna's gonna be working to the late night hours again. So everybody goes home. I'm there working, and dang if I didn't hear it again. I'm like, I just go out there. I'm like, I ain't dealing with you tonight. I ain't got time for it. I'm tired, and I've still got to be here another 2.5 hours. You need to go find something to do and leave me. You ever pick up smells from the past out of nowhere or see shadows out of the corner of your eyes? I've had this happen, Danica. Not necessarily the shadows, But I have smelt my grandmother's perfume on more than one occasion. And she wore this perfume. It was it it smelled like French lilacs. And she's the only person I ever knew that wore it. And she had one of them, you know what I'm talking about, like them got the little spray bottles with the little squeezy thing, you know. You know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what the term is, but this is what it would come in. She would order it, and you know, when she needed another bottle, had it shipped in from freaking Louisiana somewhere. And this is all this perfume that she ever wore. And I have smelt this on more than one occasion, even after moving to Oregon. It's bizarre. And I'm thinking, okay, she's around. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Janet. It's got like the little squeezy ball on it. You know, it's perfume, but it's like definitely old school stuff. Because I don't think they even make that like that anymore. But yeah, and it smelled like French lilacs. And yeah, it was the only woman I ever knew in my whole life that wore this stuff. And yeah, I've smelt it on occasion. I don't get upset by it. I'm like, oh, she's around. You know, I don't make a big fuss over it. But it's like as soon as I smell it, it just goes away. You know, it's just enough there for me to smell it, and then it'll just fade out. It's kind of crazy. I have smelled her perfume, and I have smelled my dad's cologne on a couple of occasions alone since I've lived in Oregon, and that's crazy too. He wore nothing but Stetson. He was a Stetson wearer. None of my brothers wore it. None of my uncles. It was just, he was the only one. I mean, he wore that stuff faithfully, and never had that happen in Oklahoma. But after I moved to Oregon, yeah, I've smelt it a couple of times. Walking down the hallway of my house, that's the eerie part of it. Once they know you are aware, they disappear. Yeah. And it's just like when I walked down my hall, I smelt it. It was like he was just, it was just right there. And then I just kept walking, never smelt it again. It was just, it was a weird experience. I can't say that. But I've smelt it twice in this house. And I'm like, well, damn, he wasn't even around when I bought this house. He'd been gone quite a while. But apparently he found me, Janica. I can't hide from my people, I guess. So apparently he's been to my house. And I'm like, okay, Dad, you're right. You're coming through. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. See you next time. Yeah. That's only happened twice. Once I'd lived, after I moved here, I lived here about 6 months. The first time. The second time, I smelt it, and it was in my bedroom then. That's when I was sick, when I was freaking going through my cancer treatments and thought I was going to die. Because I was so freaking sick. That was that at that point, I was at a bad place, man. I was just like, I was so sick at that point from the treatments. I was just praying to die. I mean, because I had just had enough of it. I was ready to just quit. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I ain't gonna do this anymore. I mean, I had convinced myself there for about 3 hours that I was just done. Because I just couldn't handle being sick like that. And in my mind, that's what I was going to do. I was just going to quit everything. I thought, damn, if I die, I die. It's better than this, you know. 'Cause I think when you go through that, it does mess with you. It really does mess with you. And I think that was kind of my weak point there. For about 3 hours, I was just I was just done with everything. And I'm laying there with my eyes shut, telling myself, well, it'd be better if you would just quit and just check out and it'd all be over. You don't have to deal with it. And I'm laying there with my eyes shut, and what happens? I smell my damn dad's cologne. Like he was standing there right by me. And that kind of snapped me out of that mindset, I think. Yeah, Cinnamon, I would not wish what I went through on anybody, nobody, because that was nothing but pure hell. I mean, walking through the damn flames of hell is pretty much how I can describe it. Would I do it again? I've been asked that. Well, if something happened, would you do it again? That is questionable if I would do it again or not. He could very well have been there, yeah, because he knew I was probably getting ready to freaking at my breaking point, Janica. I think he had to freaking give me a sign or something like, damn, if I don't do something, she's gonna freaking check out. So maybe that was his way of getting a message to me or something. I don't know. But it's like there was nobody in that bedroom. My daughter was here taking care of me, and she was in the front room because she would just leave me alone. She'd just come in, give me my medication, and she was gone. Because she knew I didn't want to be bothered with anybody. So yeah, I mean, I just had my whole freaking room just blacked out. I'm just in there and doing my thing. So I'm just kicking back, I'm just kicking back on my bed, freaking just laying there with my eyes shut like this, hell with it. And then all of a sudden there was that smell of that cologne, and I'm like, I almost opened my eyes, but then I didn't either. All I could say was, "Yeah, Dad, I know," because he'd have kicked my ass if he'd have heard me say that. So maybe that was his little sign of getting a message to me. So I'm like, okay, point taken. I get it. Did I quit? No, I did not. I kept going, freaking sick and all. I freaking managed to get through it. How? I have no idea, even now, how I got through it, but I'm here to tell the story, I'm still alive. Yeah, he would do it again just because he could. Maybe he knew. That'd be my saving grace right there. That it wasn't time for me to leave this world yet. I seen it as an intervention. Yeah, he knew I was probably at my breaking point. And he's like, no, you got to stick around. You got kids, you got grandkids. You know, you can't just quit and leave. What's wrong with you? So, but yeah, I mean, it was, and I'm not a crybaby at all. And I can take a hell of a lot. But when you're that damn sick that you're just praying to die, because you think, damn, death would be better than dealing with this, you know something's wrong. You know it's bad. And that was the point I was at. But even the doctor told me, because I talked to him about it too. And he said, everybody goes through it. Everybody. He said, no matter what kind of cancer you got, he said, anybody that's going through what you're going through, he said, that thought has crossed everybody's mind at some point. He said, you just read your point. He said, it happens to everybody. He said, some quit, some don't. He said, we can't make anybody do anything. He said, but then there's those that will just hang on and say, screw it, you know. Then I got mad. I just got pissed off. Like, I'm going out of this world one day, but it ain't going to be because of this. And I think that's the attitude you got to have. Yeah, I will die one day. That's a given. But this is not going to take me out. I've been seeing a lot of meteors lately. Vibrant, red, orange, yellowtail. I'm in awe of the stuff, Skywalker, that I I have not seen anything. You know, I missed the damn what was it? The Northern Lights. I missed them the first time because that's when I was hiking Oregon and slept right through it. Didn't even know it was happening. And then the second time that it happened, I missed it too. So I didn't get to see either one. Yeah, because I remember that. I was out, I had left Bend and was heading south. I was down in around Three Sister Mountain Range when the Northern Lights happened. I did not even know it was going to happen, didn't know anything about it till I come on and did my live. And everybody was asking me, you know, about the Northern Lights. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. They're like, you didn't see it? And I was like, shoot, no, I was in my freaking tent and passed out by 7 o'clock. If anything happened after that, I did not see nothing. I missed them also because of cloud cover. Yeah, I think that night, well, the second time it happened, I think I was asleep when all of it happened. So I missed the whole second time too. I'm like, I will never get to see these things at the rate I'm going. I can understand the first time because I'm out on the trail hiking, don't know what's going on in the world because I'm cut off. But the second time, I didn't have no excuse. I was just asleep. That's my excuse. Hey, Randy, how are you doing? Come on in. It's good to see you. Here's another paranormal investigation channel, y'all. These are all of my paranormal investigating buddies that y'all are seeing. But guys, sub up if it's something that you're interested in. Let's support other creators. I have been known to be over in their lives, or whatever. I go watch stuff. Randy, it's good to see you though. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. I'm just in here chit chatting with everybody. We're not talking about anything in particular. We're just having a sit down, how you doing conversation. But I have not been on this channel. I've been gone too. So I've not been on this channel, I guess, since the Washington High was the last time I was on this channel. That's been a little while. But I'm gonna start doing stuff in here too. I mean, I was hoping Mark would show up because he's gonna be excited about this. He's been wanting me to do it, and I told him if I done it, it would be on this channel. I'm going to be bringing back Tales from the Funeral Home. So I'm thinking about doing that on probably Saturday afternoons, is what I'm thinking. He's been wanting me to bring that back for I don't know how long, and I told him I would. So that's going to be something I'm going to be doing on this channel. Because I told him if I done it, it would be on this channel here. So he's not even here. Yeah, Cinnamon's never been. Cinnamon ain't never been around for a Tales from the Funeral Home. Now, Cinnamon, I've worked in the death industry for 30 years. On my own funeral home for 27 years. I've got all kinds of stories that y'all, I mean, if y'all ain't never heard any of my Tales from the Funeral Homes, I've got stories that y'all wouldn't even believe. I mean, not just about myself, but other people have told me along. Some of it's kind of crazy. I can tell you stuff from my own funeral home that happened. I can tell you stuff that other people, other funeral directors have told me over the years. I mean, and some of these stories are just crazy. Some of them's kind of funny. Some of them's kind of like, what the heck? Some of them's kind of, I've got my own stories of things that happen, spooky things that happened in my funeral home. So yeah, there's always a story when you've worked in that line of work for as many years as I have, and you got to know as many funeral directors over time as I have. Some of them, a lot of them are still working. There's those that's retired. But yeah, the stories, some of the stuff I heard them tell me, you all would not even believe. So yeah, Tales from the Funeral Home. I did three, I think three shows over on the Den. But I'm like, no, I'm going to roll that over here because it's where I want to do it, is on, that's where I want to do it, is here. Wow, can you say which state? Well, when I tell you the story of most of the funeral directors I know, because I was in Oklahoma, The majority of the stories I was told come out of places, funeral homes there in Oklahoma. I do got some. I got a couple from Texas, some down Louisiana. I've got a couple from California. I mean, I've gotten to know other people that work in this line of work too from other states. And yeah, and I'd go to these conventions every year. And that was kind of like a big reunion where, people was coming in from all over the US. Might be the only time I ever get to, to have saw them was when we'd go to these conventions. So yeah, and they was from all over the US. I mean, and that'd be the only time of the year that I would get to see them. And we was there for 3 days. So yeah, we spent a lot of time together. And it didn't matter. Somebody at those conventions would always tell me a story. It was a given because they knew I loved hearing these crazy stories. So when you go to these things for 27 years in a row, you're going to collect a whole lot of stories over time, and my memory is very good. So yeah, it's something when you hear about things that go on in other places. Have you ever burst out laughing at a body you've worked on? Well, yeah, and I can tell you a story. I won't tell you tonight, but I can tell you a story on this. And you just got me, just story just automatically popped in my mind when you asked me that. And this was somebody I worked on, and I had only been in business maybe 6 months when this happened to me. The only time it ever happened to me. So yeah, that it's quite a funny story. But I will tell you this story when I do the first episode over here of Tales from the Funeral Home. You will die, Janica. You will die. Because it's been forever ago and I still laugh about it. Because here I am, freshly out of school, 6 months in the game, I'm thinking, man, I know what I'm doing here. And here we go. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Let's just say this, Janica. I had to call the other funeral director at the other funeral home and have him come over there. And I'm like, I want you to look at this and tell me what's wrong. It's a hell of a story. I'm just like, oh, I mean, you don't. That's just, you don't keep a straight face. Now, I had to keep a straight face, though, when I was dealing with the fam. But you may let me go in my office and freaking lock my ass in there, and I'm freaking dying. But this particular thing, when you said, have you ever laughed at anybody you took care of? And I don't ever say names or anything of anybody I've ever took care of because I will keep that anonymous. But yeah, this is one story I will have to share with you. I mean, and the thing of it was, I would laugh, but then I was thinking, okay, the family's going to be here at this time. I better get all this shit out of my system before they show. So, because when the family got there, you had to be professional. Couldn't be doing that shit in front. Not that they know what you'd be laughing at, but it's just, you got to be professional when you're dealing with people. So, the family, when the family come and they did what they done and left, I just cracked up laughing. I mean, I laughed, Jenica, for a damn week. I've done nothing but laughed over this whole thing. I mean, I was, and every time somebody, one of my employees would say their name, I'd crack up laughing. And they knew why. They knew why. I said, y'all better not say nothing. Roland's like he wouldn't last long there. Yeah, I mean, it was a trip. But this particular thing happened one time to me in my whole 30-year career and had to happen when I was a newbie. You know, that was the thing. Because I, I, I called the other funeral director and I said, hey, are you busy at the moment? No, I'm not. Because it was slow, you know. So I already had them back here in the freaking embalming room during the daytime hours, you know, before things got really crazy. I was like, I need for you to come over here because I got a situation over here. I need for you to tell me what's wrong. He's like, I'll be over there in a minute. I'll be over there in a few minutes. And I'm like, well, they're not going anywhere. I hung up. I'm thinking they're not going nowhere. Okay, take your sweet time. So yeah, that was yeah. It was a very interesting funeral, to say the least. It took all I had in me to keep myself composed to get through this. And the graveside service. I mean, I'm wanting to die. Just crack up laughing. But I know I cannot. So we go into, you know, we have the funeral, we go in the cemetery. And the guy, one of the guys that worked for me, went with me. And I'm like, I can't laugh. And he's looking at me and he's like, you're going to start laughing in a minute. I said, no, I can't. And he's like, you know, you go. We're driving the hearse to the funeral, you know, the cemetery. Here we go. I was like, I've just got to make it through this part. When the preacher closes the service, then we are gone. I said, we got to go. So I'm standing back, standing back in the back, way behind everybody. I'm doing my damnedest to keep myself composed, and I do. And I'm like, okay, you got to, you know, if I freaking do this, it's going to ruin my whole damn what reputation I have in the community. I got to be good. So during this whole funeral, I'm thinking about something else in my mind. You know, like, you got to think about something else. So you ain't thinking about what's going on here. You know, think about whatever. Get your mind off for at least the next 30 minutes. You'll be fine. I make it through it. We go and I say, I talk to the family and, take care of them. And we leave. Me and this guy leave. But you got to know what happened to this individual to know the whole damn story. I'm just giving you some cliff notes on it. We get in the hearse, we drive away. As soon as I get through the gate of the cemetery, I die. I crack up. I'm laughing so damn hard. I am crying. It's like, I mean, he started laughing. I was like, I hope to God this never happens again. I laughed the rest of the damn day because there ain't nothing going on at work. I proceed to sit in my office and laugh for the next 2.5 hours. I'm just like, God, don't ever let this happen to me because I don't think I could do this again. I just, I can't. Like, please, God, don't let this happen to me again. I am sitting in my office praying to God to never let this happen to me again because I don't think I could contain myself a second. But you will get the full story of what happened, why this is such a story that just still is imprinted in my mind so well after 30 years. And y'all will get, you think you laughing now. You're going to be dying when I tell you this story. You're going to be like, oh my God. That's what I have seen it all in this line of work. There is nothing I have not seen, I don't think. Yeah, like I said, I have some really good stories for you. This is not something you're going to want to miss. Oh, Janica, when I when I tell you the full story, start to finish, I gave y'all the cliff notes. You know, y'all just got the cliff notes of it. You are going to be sitting there literally crying, laughing, because here I am. I'm stuck with in the middle of this situation. That's the bad part. And me and my twisted sense of humor, yeah, I just can't. It's funny no matter who you are, whether you do what I do for a living, or if you're just, just an everyday person, you're going to get a laugh out of this when I come off with. But that's not the only funny story I got for you. I could do a damn 2 hour live just on funny shit that has happened in my funeral, the one I owned in the 27 years I was there, and probably not even scrape the iceberg. I mean, I have had some funny shit. But there's those 4 or 5 good stories, you got to throw in there to make a good show. I can do this because this is what I do for a living. We know Roland wouldn't last a day. He'd get, he'd be like, I can't do it. I just see if he worked for me, I just have to lock him back in the office and say, "You stay here, let me go." This guy was the only one that knew. Well, everybody that worked for me knew what happened. This guy was probably the one that could keep it together the best, and he could probably keep me from freaking cracking up. But I just got in my own damn mind and just kept myself not. Everybody else, no, they couldn't have went because as soon as they walked out up there, they'd have been dying laughing. So I knew to leave them behind. I was like, y'all can't go. You got to stay here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what the hell I was thinking about to occupy my mind to keep from laughing at the graveside. But it was something. Because I remember standing back behind everybody And I was just kind of in my own little world. I'm just like, okay, time, let's pick this pace up a little bit, preacher, because I don't know how long I can do. But yeah, he's taking hamsters. Yeah, I know I couldn't take Roland with me because he'd ended up freaking cracking up and having to just go to the car. Probably, I'd have been like, "Go sit your ass in the car." He wouldn't have lasted a day, Jack. I'd have had to just left him there. I just said, "Hey, you go in there and sit down. I'll be back. It'll be okay." But yeah, Jenica, try picturing yourself in this position I was in. I had to go through a funeral. And then the crazy side and try to keep my shit together. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to tell you about this man. And when you know what I've seen, you will understand. But if you want to hear that story, you got to come for Tales from a Funeral Home because that's the only way you're going to hear the story. But I'm telling you, do not be drinking anything when I'm telling you this story because you're going to start laughing and you're going to start choking, and yeah, it ain't going to turn out good for anybody. There was a lady, too, that I took care of. There's yet another story. But y'all will hear all of the first time, the first show I do, it just be the funny stories. So y'all can get some good laughs and get a little sneak peek on what it was like being Luna in this situation. It was not good. Yeah, it was always not good. But I think to work in that line of work. Nope, never had none fall off the table. That's one thing I can say didn't happen. But I think in this line of work, when you work in it, you have to have a sense of humor or you are not going to survive. You have to have a sense of humor. Not that I make light of someone passing away. I do not. But you got to try to find some humor in everything. I think that's the only way, you make it. And let me tell you, I know a lot of funeral directors, and they all got crazy sense of humor. I mean, funnier, funny people. And we have to be this way because we are surrounded by death day in and day out. I mean, we work in the saddest part of anything anybody could do. So you have to have a sense of humor. You got to find something funny in the situation, or you ain't gonna make it. I mean, but yeah, the majority of the funeral directors I know, which is many, they all got crazy sense of humor, and I'm just right there with them. A coping mechanism, yeah, it is because I don't know a lot of people that could do what I do. And for as long as I have done it, because they're going to crack after a while, they ain't going to be able to do it. So I think when you have a sense of humor, it makes it a lot better. Is hair and makeup fun? I love doing hair and makeup. I really do. That's probably one of my favorite parts, especially on the women. Now, I can take a man and make them look good too. You know, little makeup goes a long way, especially if they have been ill for a very long time. I can make them look good. I will give you some Botox, man. You will look like $1,000,000 when I get done with you. I will fill your face in. You will look like you did when you was freaking in your 20s. You know, I can make you look good. There's tricks of the trade. And I mean, there are tricks to this job to make people look good. Botox is one of them. And it's not the Botox like you go to the doctor and get. My Botox is actually the embalming fluid itself. You know, give a little injection here and there, fill them lips out, you know, fill them cheeks out. There's little tricks to it to make someone look good. I've done it a many times, especially if it was someone that had been sick for a long time. You know, I'm like, oh, they need a little injection. You know, let's put a little something right here. You know, let's fill the lips out a little bit. I thought they stuffed the cheeks with cotton. Well, I mean, some do, some don't. I never stuffed cheeks with cotton because after I'd been working for a little while, I went back to school and took some extra courses. Actually, I have a certification in reconstruction and preservation. So yeah, I mean, I've got the certifications for that, and what that done was I would get the bad stuff, and I'd have to rebuild faces from almost nothing. Like maybe they had a lot of well shit. How would I? Let me think of something here that would work. Like I took care of one guy one time. Half of his face was gone. All I had was the mandible and the maxilla bone in the face. That was all I had to work with. The rest, the other side of the face was perfect. The nose was good. So I had to go on the side that was all tore up and rebuild that from nothing. I mean, nothing because it was all gone. So yeah, I mean, I spent, and when you start doing reconstruction on somebody, that is hours of work. I mean, you might as well just put the coffee on and get ready to be there for a long time because it's very time consuming. Because everything, it's got to match. Both sides have got to match perfectly. So yeah, you're there for, I think the longest person I ever worked on was 15 hours straight. But damn, they look good when I got done with them. That's the longest I ever worked on anybody was 15 hours straight. And I'm like, that was like a marathon there because I was on the clock. They had to be done by a certain time. You know, there wasn't no let's go home and come back and do it tomorrow. I was there working on them for a long time. And that was after I hired that young man to come work for me. And we got the call and had to go pick them up and brought them back. And that boy asked me, he said, "Are you going to be able to fix that?" I said, "When I get done with them, they'll look like nothing ever happened." He said, "Well, when you going to start working on them?" I said, "Well, when's the family supposed to be here?" All this, like 11:30. I was like, "Well, I'll probably, as soon as the family freaking comes through and gets done, I'll probably go right into working on them." Yeah, 15 hours later, that guy looked like not a dang thing ever happened to him. That was probably some of the best work I ever did. But I was proud of that. 'Cause I'm like, man, you sit back and you look, and I'm like, because I was very picky when it come to the people I took care of. It was, to me, it had to be perfect because there was no doing it over again. Once it was done, it was done. So I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I had to make sure, I mean, everything was just like flawless. So yeah, 15 hours it took me to, and I told the family, it's going to take me a little while to do this, but we'd let them know when I was done, and then they would be, set up for viewing and such. But yeah, the family was great to work. What medium do you use for reconstruction? Okay, I'm not understanding your question. What I use, this may clarify here. I think I know where you're going with it. What I use when I go in, the actual, it is a special made putty, or it's almost like a clay consistency. It's not soft and it's not hard. It's like a medium consistency. This stuff is made especially for facial reconstruction. So it's when you start working with it, it's real easy to shape and stuff. Cause you got to get the shapes right. Everything's got to match up right. That's a special made reconstruction putty that funeral directors, well, not every funeral director can do this either. That's the thing. Not every one of them. You got to know how to do reconstruction. That's why I went back to school. But that was my specialty, though. And people got to learn, got to know that over time. But yeah, it is a special made putty that we use. And then once everything's there, hello, Ellie, come on in. Once everything's done, it's got to set for so long. I think that one there the one I use, once everything is done, it's got to set for like 3 hours to set. And then once that's done, then I go in, because I only use theatrical grade makeup. It's all I've ever used, because it's just better. It works better with someone that is deceased. It goes on better. I can match complexion better with it. I mean, and you got a flawless look when it's done. So I'll go in and start doing the makeup after that. That takes that takes a little bit too, because you want it to look right, you want it to look natural. So yeah, I mean, I take a lot of time with the people I took care of because if I was not happy with how it looked, I'd be dang if that family was going to see it. So it was all about, getting it right because I only knew I had one go at it. So yeah, I took a lot of time with the people I took care of. I wanted to be happy with them. I wanted their families to be happy. Never heard a complaint though. It is a talent, Janica. It definitely is a talent, and there there's not a lot of funeral directors that become more specialized in reconstruction and preservation. Now I could do it all. I mean, I could do a regular embalming. I could make up you. I could fix your hair, casket you. Hey, have your funeral and take you to the cemetery. Just like anybody else. But I had that little special extra training and that certification that kind of made me stand out because there was not many at that time, especially in Oklahoma, that had it. So I was one of maybe 10 statewide that even had that certification. So that's in my area. If someone passed away that was, messed up, I was usually the one that they called because they knew I could probably fix them back. Yeah, it would be a closed casket here. Yeah, Roland's like, I ain't putting that in. I ain't putting that kind of time in. Luna uses it on herself because she's a vampire. No, I am not. Sometimes I feel like I am because I'm up. I was awake so many crazy hours. Yeah, and you always get these looks. People always give you these looks. Um, when tell them what you do for a living, you always get that look. Nobody wants to talk about it. They're like, "Oh, okay." It's good to see the little imperfections you'll notice where as others won't. So you go back to improve. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm actually surprised because I took care of people that were pretty messed up. And this, now that I've got this contract with this funeral home here in Portland, they call me. I mean, I went in on cases and they're like, well, can you do anything with them? Well, yeah, I can always do something with them. What do you want? Yeah. But no, I mean, I've worked on people here in Oregon. Mostly those were like car accidents, motorcycle accidents. Um, One of them was someone that took their own life. Damn, they look like nothing even happened to them. I mean, that was light work though for me. I mean, I'd done stuff that they didn't think people would even be able to be viewed, and I've made them viewable. But it is my specialty. I mean, that's what I specialize in. So when they heard I was up here, they reach out to me and was like, hey, how would you like to work with us on a contract basis? We will pay you for your time, and they pay me very well if I go in and fix somebody. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Work when I want. If I don't want to mess with it, I'll still go in and check it out. But if I don't want to do it, I ain't going to do it. If I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's spend a few hours together, shall we? I'll do it. I pick and choose what I want to do. If it's something really bad that I know is going to run into hours and hours, I won't do that anymore. But if I know it's something that I can, invest some time in and get a good result and not be there for 15, 16 hours, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, I've turned cases down, and then I've had those that I've done. I get to pick and choose what I do. And I kind of like being in that situation because I'm like, I don't got to deal with this on a daily basis. If I don't want to work, I ain't going to do it. But if it's something I know I can fix and not put in a lot of time and still make the family happy and give them what they want, yeah, I'll do it. But they pay me for what I do. That's why they hope they don't have to call me, but they do. I get a call about, shoot, guarantee every couple of weeks I'm getting a phone call. Hey, you want to come in and check this out? Well, yeah, let me run down there and see what's up. The contractor send you a before picture before you make the decision. I have had, well, I don't even know what I'm getting until I get there. And then I'll kind of know some of the story, like, well, it was a car accident or whatever, whatever. I won't know until I get there. That's the thing. If they'd send me the info beforehand, it'd probably be better. But usually how it goes is I'll get a call and then I'll go and then I will look, I'll check it all out. I'm thinking, yeah, I could probably knock this out in 3 or 4 hours, no big deal. I'll do it. But I've had those where I've walked in and I'm like, because I'm going to be here for hours. I ain't doing it. Yeah. And I just tell them, I don't think, it'd be worth the time. Well, I mean, is it worth the time? I shouldn't say that, but let's just say Luna don't want to invest that kind of time. I would much rather be home than standing on my feet for 12 to 15 hours trying to fix whoever. And I've done that a few times too. I was like, you can tell the family whatever you want to tell them, then, that's up to you. But I'm not going to do it. So normally, they just have either a closed casket or whatever the family wanted to do. It was out of my hands at that point. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times I don't turn down everybody. Like I said, if I can go in there and knock it out 3, 4, 5 hours, maybe 6. I think the longest I worked on somebody was about 6 hours. If I can do it within that time frame, yeah, I'll do it. But then too, the funeral home hates calling me too because they know anytime I walk in there, time is money. It does not matter if I work on that person or not. When I walk in that door, that is whether I take the case or not, guaranteed 3 hours of wages up front, whether I take it or not. If I say no, you still gonna pay me this much money. I mean, but if I say, yeah, I'll do it, they know it's gonna cost them even more money, and they hate that. But don't think these Portland funeral homes ain't making good money, because they are. Yeah, that was the agreement. I was like, anytime I come in here, you call me and I walk through your door, this is how much it's going to cost you, whether I take the case or not. If I take the case, then we go on that rate per hour. But if I come in and say, no, you're still going to pay me this much money for my time to come. And they needed me a little more than I needed them, so they agreed to it. Yeah, some things can't be fixed in reality. I mean, I can only do so much. And and even that, with all I know, there's some things you just cannot fix back. I mean, that's just reality. I've, there's been those couple of times I have tried. I mean, and I put in the time and everything I knew to try to fix, this individual, and it just didn't work. And you come to that reality, there's only so much I can do, but I have to at least try. I told the family, I will try my best. I'm not going to guarantee you anything. Well, that's all we can ask of you. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And they were real understanding with it. That was only one of 3 times that ever happened, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, it didn't matter what I was doing. There just wasn't enough there for me to work with. I'm like, nope, I can't. I've done all I can do, and you just get to that point where you're done. There's no more you can do. And you just got to call it after so long. I'm like, well. Then you sit there and you think, well, how could I fix this? You're sitting there racking your brain. How can I fix this? Well, there's no fixing this because there's no more you can do. Well, maybe if I'd have done, then you start questioning yourself. Well, if I'd have done this or that, this is the stress that I would put myself under. And maybe if I did this or that, maybe it would have turned out different. Well, there ain't no changing it now. So yeah, then I'd feel all bad, and I'd have to go call the family, and I'd have to go through all this with them. Yeah, that make you feel shitty there. But you got to do what you got to do, because at the end of the day, I'm only human. I only know. I mean, what I know well. But even I have limitations. Have you seen the 3D technology? Yeah, I mean, the 3D technology is pretty cool. But yeah, there ain't nothing like, even though the family knew and I told them going into it, I can only do what I can do. Well, this is why we wanted you. I'm like, well, put the pressure on me, people. Why don't you? Well, this is why we come to you, because we knew you could do this. And I'm like, well, yeah, that is kind of my specialty, but I can't promise you nothing. And that's what I tell everybody. I can't promise you anything. I can only do the best I can do. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we got to look at other options here. So yeah, it become a stressful job. When you got a family relying on you to make their family member viewable, yeah, it's a lot of stress. So it's like you go in it, you're thinking, man, everything I know, I'm getting ready to use it all because if this doesn't work, then I'm screwed. Well, I'm not screwed, but I don't want to disappoint people. That was my thing. So that's why, Luna worked lots and lots of hours sometimes. Sometimes I never even got to go home. I'd be there all day, all night. Come 7 o'clock, okay, I'm calling it. I got to freaking go get ready to start my work day over. In my office, I had a bathroom, had a shower and everything in there. I always kept extra changes of clothes at work because there were times I didn't get to go home. Yeah, it is pressure, Janica. And you can only got one go at it. And if you mess it up, yeah, you don't want to mess it up. But I think with me, I was such a perfectionist at my job. Everything had to be to my approval. If if I had even if I started questioning myself, I'd freaking just start all over again. I remember doing a lady's full face of makeup. I stood back and looked at this woman from like three different angles. I'm looking at this woman and I didn't like what I seen. And I just spent over an hour doing her makeup. What did I do? I took it all off and started all over again because I did not like how it looked. That's the kind of pressure I'd put on myself. Because I'm like, well, if I don't like it, the family ain't gonna like it, then they're gonna complain to me. So, and I don't want nobody complaining. So yeah, I mean, I did that a few times along because I didn't like how it looked when it was all done. So we take it off, we do it all over again, another hour and 15, 20 minutes. The next time, though, it turned out right. And this was everybody that ever come through my place. I mean, if I did not like the end result, they would not go out on in for their viewing. I'd start all over again. I'd be like, no, this ain't gonna cut it. People that know that type of job really don't understand what's involved in the process. Oh, yeah, they have no clue. It is probably one of the most stressful jobs that you can have because nobody sees what goes on behind the scenes. I think everybody here has been to a viewing. Everybody's been to a funeral. That's all you see. Or unless maybe you went and arranged a funeral for your loved one, your family member. Other than that, you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. It's like, especially when you're in a position like myself, it got stressful. I mean, stressful because I had to take care of not only the person I was taking care of, but the family too. But I think I put more pressure on myself taking care of their loved one than anything because I'm like, they're going to come in here and they're going to see their loved one and they're going to be looking for something, to complain about. I'm not going to give them an opportunity. People don't think twice about what goes on behind the scenes. No, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. A whole lot. This is what they know, Janica. They come in, they've lost their loved ones passed away. They come in, they meet, they sit down with me. We plan the funeral. They pick out their things. We set a day and we set a time. They leave. Okay, well, I'll let you know when they're ready to be viewed. That's all they know. They don't know what happens after they leave and what all I have to do. And even after someone passes away, even after we have the funeral and have the burial and everything we do, there's still 2 weeks worth of stuff we do after that they don't know about all that. We don't. It took on the app. Well, for me to completely close a file on somebody was 2 weeks after they're buried. I mean, there's a lot that goes on that people don't know about. You are correct. It's all behind the scenes, and the family don't know nothing about all this. It's not something that we talk about with them. If they ask, yeah, well, I'll tell them. But nobody never asked. They just there to do what they had to do, and like, okay, well, we'll be back. Yeah, there is a lot involved, Janica, a lot that people don't know, because this is what I have come to the conclusion of after working in the death industry for 30 years. Death is a taboo subject. Nobody talks about it. Nobody wants to have that conversation. It's like, if we don't talk about it, it ain't never going to happen, which is not true. But it's not something, you're going to sit around and just have a conversation about. Nobody wants, it's a taboo subject to a lot of people. And I'm thinking, and this is why I got stuck in these situations with families when their loved one would pass away. They had no clue what to do for their loved one. They didn't know what their loved one would have liked or what they would have wanted done. So they're just a bunch of lost ducks here. I'm like, well, didn't you ever ask? Didn't you ever ask your mother one day, when your time comes and you leave this world, what would you like to have done? It's a simple question. We're not saying you're going to die tomorrow. Hell, it could be 40 years from now. But somebody needs to know. But people don't want to have these conversations with anybody. I've learned this over my time because I've dealt with enough families, which is in the thousands. You need to have these conversations with somebody. At least let somebody you trust know, well, if something happens to me, I would like this type, I want to be buried or I want to be cremated. One or the two, you figure out the rest, but that's what I'd at least like to have. Okay. We got something to work with. Yeah. Without further, I brought a family into a funeral home to see their 18-year-old daughter. I was told upon going in not to let the family move the white sheet. She was wrapped really. Oh, wow. Wow. Now I've never had this happen to me. Yeah, that's wild. So see, Janica, this is the kind of things I had to deal with. Because nobody told anybody anything. Nobody knew what to do. Eh, and my question to them was, well, normally if someone passes away in your family, do you do a traditional burial or do you have them cremated? Let's start there. Is the family all in like a family plot at a cemetery, or you know, how do you handle this? Give me something and I can steer you in that direction where we need to go. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, then I've had families come in, Janica, and literally be fighting with each other. I had to be funeral director slash referee moderator between all of them. I mean, I've done it all. I've dealt with great, great families, probably some of the best, and some of these families were really great to work with. And then I've had those that was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, I hope I never see you again. I hope you never come through my door again because I don't think I could deal with y'all again. Yeah, it was, probably 95% of all the families I've ever worked with were great. They were great. And I had families that would come back again. Like families, I become their funeral home. When someone passed away, well, they'd come right back to me, which is crazy, but it's kind of like, well, if anybody dies, in our family, this is where we're going, so just call her, she'll take care of us. I had a lot of those families that I took care of and got to know them very, very well over the years. But yeah, I mean, I hated to think that of somebody, but I was thinking, damn, I hope nobody else in your family passes away because I don't want to deal with you again. But that was just a very, very, very small percentage. That's where that 5% come in. Because I'm like, you ain't paying me to referee your family and keep y'all from fighting trying to plan a funeral. This is not the time for this. Y'all need to we need to take care of business here. What we here to do to arrange this service. Well, they fought over everything. I mean, it was the craziest thing I ever seen. It's like this lady had like 10 kids. She's an older lady up in her years. Five of the kids was all in agreement with one thing, and the other five kids was in agreement with something else. And I'm like, this is a bad thing. Well, she was going to be buried. We knew that. But it's like, well, we think she should be put here. On the other side was like, well, we think she should be put over here. Then they fought over caskets, what kind of casket to get their mom, flowers, the day of the funeral, the time. And I'm like, y'all fighting over too much. This just ain't right. What should have took me an hour and say an hour and a half at the most took me over 3 hours to do this one funeral, to arrange one funeral. And I'm thinking, I got another family going to be walking in here in 30 minutes. I got to wrap this up and get you all, get all this addressed and get y'all on your merry way, because I've got to flip this room and get it ready for my next family that's going to be here in 30 minutes. I was running on the clock. It was crazy. But we got the funeral arranged. We got the funeral done. I never seen them again. Thank God. But I mean, I wouldn't have turned them away if they'd have showed up. I'd have took care of them, but I'd have been like, man, y'all better come in better prepared next time, 'cause this ain't cool. And then I would submit the obituary to the local newspaper. There, our town newspaper. Well, one daughter wrote up the obituary, and the other daughter didn't like what it said. And I'm reading through it, and it's fine. It's perfectly fine. And I'm like, well, thinking, oh, what's wrong with the obituary? So I asked the other daughter, well, what's wrong with it? Well, she didn't put so and so in there in the survivors. And I'm like, well, we can pencil that in right. She got all beside herself. No one had money for the cremation, and CPS took the deceased daughter's 1-year-old daughter. Funeral director was worried about the money. The family was broke. Wow. Talking along these same lines here, when, no family is ever prepared when something happens, because funerals are expensive. I don't care what you do. Funerals are expensive. They can be. And where my funeral home was at, my hometown, there were people there that didn't have a lot of money. You just call it for what it is. Well, when somebody would come in like that, and this was the same question I asked everybody. I didn't care who you was. You could been the damn president of the bank, and I'm going to ask you the same question as I would ask somebody with a minimum wage job. I'd sit down with everybody, and my first question is, what is your budget, and what do you want to do? That was the first question I'd ask everybody. And then I had families come to me, they'd lose a loved one in their family. And they'd come to me. They'd be like, I'd be like, well, what's your budget? What do you want to do? Well, this is our budget. This is all the money we got. But this is what we want to do. I would make that funeral happen. I would take the loss. I'd lose the money just so that family could have a funeral. I'd take them back to the back, the showroom, and I'd be like, from here to here, pick out, this is in your budget right here, this section right here. So, y'all go and look around and figure out what you want. Let me know. So, yeah, I lost money because I took care of families because they didn't have, a big budget. But I'm like, no, everybody deserves something. And I would do that. And I did that for quite a few families over time. Going to give the box remains to the family, and the funeral director took the remains. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, cremations, I did cremations at my funeral home because I had an on-site crematory, and there for a while I didn't do very many, but then it started, more people started wanting to be cremated, which that's your choice at the end. There's no right or wrong. It's personal choice. And that's why I told my kids, don't worry about throwing some big thing for me. I said, my stuff's already planned. It has been since I was 27. It's paid for. There ain't gonna be no fancy funeral, none of this stuff. I'm gonna be cremated. I don't care at that point. Yeah. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm ready to get out of here. And I said, just have your service or whatever you want to do because it's on you at that point. The kids didn't know what to say, and they didn't even know until they was grown and married and had families of their own before I even told them. Because we sat down and had this conversation, and they're like, "My mom, if something was to ever happen, what do you want done?" And I just started laughing. I said, "Yes, something y'all ain't got to worry about because that's been done way long time ago. I already took care of that." And I said, "It's already paid for. You just fill in the blanks when you want to have it, what you want to do." I said, "It's on you then." Family did pull money together. Yeah, that's what people don't realize. It costs a lot of money. If you want to bury somebody right now, the standard going rate, and this is just what you need to bury somebody. This ain't no extra perks, no nothing. But the standard going rate right now, casket vault, everything that we do, you're looking at about $15,000. That's just for a standard funeral. That is what you got to have. So yeah, and I don't know a lot of people that's just carrying around that kind of money in their pocket. Not many people out there is. But that's about the going rate right now. That's why I'm kind of big on pre-arrangement too, because it freezes the price on stuff. If you're gonna get cremated, don't don't go to the funeral home and buy an urn, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because there is no law that says you cannot provide your own. Go buy you one off Amazon. You can pick up some really nice ones on there for less than $100. But if you buy it from the funeral home, you're gonna be spending a whole lot more money. She was on a metal Gertie. Oh man, this is just sad. This thing here, it's just sad. They could have done a little bit better by this young lady, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all ways to save money. If you're planning your things, you're thinking ahead. You're gonna get cremated? Do not ever buy an urn from a funeral home because the markup on everything is like 98% markup when you can go on Amazon and pick you up a very nice one for less than $100. You take it to your funeral home. You can provide your own container. They will put your cremains in there for you and should not charge you anything to do it. There's ways to save money. Hell, I've heard of people buying their own caskets before. I don't think I'd go that far with it, but you can buy your own casket too. You can order this stuff online. have it delivered to your funeral home. They have to use it. There's no law saying that they can't. So I made my mother's urn. It's a hollow log lined with rabbit fur, sealed from top, bottom, and carved by me. Yeah, I mean, that's where funeral homes get people. They don't tell people, well, you don't have to buy it from us. You can go buy it yourself and bring it to us. We'll put your cremains in it for you. They're not going to tell you that because they're there to make the money. That's what it's all about. Yeah, my daughter, she said, God, Mom, you ain't got your urn already, do you? No, you can figure that out. But yeah, I mean, I just had a friend die 3 years ago. They was cremated. That's what they wanted. They knew they was dying because they had a terminal illness. They knew they was going to die. They went on Amazon and bought their own freaking urn, had it at their house waiting. And they was like, ain't that just pretty? And it was. And I mean, I'm checking it out. And they're like, you think they can use that? And I'm like, well, heck yeah, they can use it. It's rubber sealed and everything. Yeah, they can use that. And they're like, ain't that just nice? I'm like, well, as long as you're happy with it, I'm happy with it. Yeah, and that was what they did when they passed away. They come and freaking picked them up at their home, took them, well, the funeral home did, took them and cremated them. And the daughter took the urn. I said, take this urn. I told her, I said, take that urn to the funeral home. Tell them you're there, that your mom that's your mom, and you want her cremains put in this urn. And that funeral home done it. Didn't charge her a dime to do it. But a funeral home ain't going to tell you this because they want you to buy that $800 urn that you could buy online for less than $100 or whatever, like Jenica made her mother's urn. I mean, you can do whatever. There ain't no rules here. But yeah, there's ways you can save money. You ain't got to go in debt or go get a freaking loan or whatever. There's ways you can save money. And other funeral directors would be sitting here kicking me in the ass for telling y'all this too. Because they're like, well, you're taking money out of our pocket. Well, I'm sorry, but people need to know, there's options here. You ain't got to buy everything from wherever. I call it her log cabin. Well, there you go. Sounds real nice, though, Janica. I mean, I like the concept of it. But guys, we have been in here for 2.5 hours. I think I am going to call it for now. All right, Janica, next Saturday, make your plans if you're going to be here. I'll come on and do the first episode of Tales from the Funeral Home. Y'all got to be here to hear these crazy stories because this is real things that happened to me. Y'all gonna get some laughs out of it. And you'll see what kind of situations I got put in over time. But I'll probably do, I don't know, 4 if we got time, maybe 5. If I don't get them all, there's always a part 2 to it. So, but y'all gonna get some good laughs, and you will see the kind of craziness that goes on. Um, next Saturday, let's say next Saturday at 3:30, you'll get a if you're subscribed, you'll get the notification. So next Saturday at 3:30, we'll gather back up. We'll have episode 1 of Tales from the Funeral Home, the comedy edition, because y'all gonna be crying next Saturday when you hear all this mess. But we will, like I said, make sure your notifications are turned on so you get your notifications. So we're gonna start doing some stuff in here on this channel, but we're gonna have some fun doing it too. But anyway, I will let you all go for this for tonight. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. It was just a chill stream, because I hadn't visited with y'all in a while now. Dang sure hadn't been on this channel in a while. But it's good to be back. And being able to hang out with y'all again. But I want y'all to have a good night and a blessed night. I love y'all. I will see you all next Saturday afternoon, 3:30. We'll kick it off. But until then, y'all have a good and blessed night, and I will talk to you then. Good night, everybody.